The Denver Nuggets are back. Nikola Jokic had 30 points, 14 assists, and 11 rebounds for his third straight triple-double to lead the Denver Nuggets past the Miami Heat, 135-122 on Friday night, as the Nuggets have now won 4 games in a row. The triple-double for Jokic was an NBA best, 5th of the season. And the Nuggets, they also saw Jamal Murray return. After missing the past 3 games in concussion protocol, Jamal Murray, he returned to the lineup and he looked like the old Jamal Murray. The Jamal Murray that Nuggets fans hope to see more times than not for the rest of the season. Murray was in his bag. He had 28 points and he became the first player in Nuggets franchise history with 1,000 career three-pointers. That is an impressive feat. And the Nuggets, I mean, they pretty much have put to bed any early concerns about, this team's ability to compete and be a contender this season, because we know the Nuggets, they came out 0-2 start. They were able to, escape in wins against the Raptors and Nets, but the Nuggets, they are quietly getting back into things and showing people that they are still a serious threat and contender in the West, as the Nuggets, they have won the last 4, and they've won for the 6th time in their past 7 games. The Nuggets, they are starting to figure it out, and this team, they are looking good, and they are looking like the old Denver Nuggets that we have been accustomed to seeing. And this is what I'm going to be talking about the Nuggets, guys. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and thank you so much for your continued support of this channel. So Russell Westbrook, I got to give him a ton of credit, because the Nuggets were 3-0 with Jamal Murray out. And when Russell Westbrook entered the starting lineup, he did a brilliant job orchestrating things for the Nuggets. Like, people were talking crazy about Russ after the 0-2 start. Oh, here comes Russ. He's ready to kill another team, this and that. Russell Westbrook has proven to be already a really good fit here in Denver. And I talked about how Russell Westbrook, I thought he was going to work out in Denver in the offseason. I know it's still early, but you got to love what you've been seeing from Russ. He deserves a lot of credit, filling in for Murray, doing as good of a job as he did, 3-0 when he started. Well, Russ, he continued his strong stretch. And despite going back to the bench with Murray back, Russell Westbrook still had a really nice game. He dished out a season-high 10 assists for Denver. That is huge coming off the bench. And it's just the second time he's had double-digit assists in his past 44 games. So Russell Westbrook can still be a high-impact guy even from off the bench. And we saw it in this game. And the fact that Russ is in rhythm and he's in this solid stretch, I mean, that's good. You just want to see him continue to build off of this. And you want to also look at Nikola Jokic. Like, what he's doing is unbelievable, guys, because no matter what, as long as the Denver Nuggets have Nikola Jokic, you got to consider them a championship contender. I mean, Nikola Jokic, with the way he's playing, if the Nuggets continue to win, like, how can you not put this guy back up there atop of the MVP conversations? It's early. I don't want to talk about MVP just yet, but if he continues these type of numbers, you got to give Nikola Jokic another MVP award. You just have to. I mean, Jokic, he has just been playing unbelievably well. And, he's already a 3-time MVP. He led the way in this one. He had the 30 points, 14 assists, 11 rebounds. He recorded his 135th career triple-double. And in addition to the win, Jokic made NBA history with this recent stat line. With 30 points, 14 assists, and 11 rebounds, and 84% shooting, Jokic joined NBA legend Will Chamberlain as just the second player in NBA history to record that line on at least 80% from the field. This is via Basketball References StatHead. And this was Jokic's third career 30-point triple-double on at least 80% shooting. Only Chamberlain has more, which is really fitting when considering how many lists include just the great Chamberlain and Nikola Jokic. And in the win, going back to Wednesday night against the Thunder, which, by the way, the Denver Nuggets, they ended the OKC Thunder's perfect season, handed the Thunder their lone loss to this point. It was a wild 124-122 victory. Shout out to Peyton Watson, who got the game-winning block on Shea there at the end. Jokic, he posted an impressive stat line in that one as well. 23 points, 20 rebounds, and 16 assists, and it gave him his third triple-double of the season. And also with that performance, Jokic became one of 2 players over the last 40 seasons to post a stat line of 20-plus points, 20-plus rebounds, and 15-plus assists. The other player, funny enough, his current teammate, Russell Westbrook. So the point is, it seems like Nikola Jokic is always breaking records. He's putting himself in elite company, and he's just putting together these incredible stat lines, these incredible games so routinely. And again, if he continues this type of pace, Nikola Jokic is going to win another MVP. It's inevitable. I know voter fatigue is a thing, but when you just look at what he's doing, and if this Nuggets team continues to win and they find themselves atop of the West later on in the season, you know, as we get closer to obviously playoff time, like Nikola Jokic, he's inevitable. And you know he's going to continue to put up these numbers. He's not slowing down. And I also want to talk about Christian Braun, who's been doing a fabulous job. He's really taken his game to a whole new level. And, you know, when the 23-year-old took over Kentavious Caldwell-Pope's spot in the starting lineup, there was some questions about that, right? KCP was a huge part of this Nuggets success over the last couple of seasons, and people looked at that as a really big loss, and it was, right? And really it meant Braun had to step in and he had to be impactful if the Nuggets wanted to survive losing KCP. And Braun has just done a great job thus far. He's currently scoring 16.6 points per game. He's grabbing 5.3 rebounds, and he's doing it while hitting almost 56% of his shots from the field. That's unbelievable. And he's netting both a steal and a block per game. But, you know, one of the bigger things about Braun is that he's proved that he's fully capable of being a productive player. And he's looked to be the replacement of Caldwell Pope this early on. And hopefully, you know, continues to look like that. And, you know, Braun, for this season, it's big for the Nuggets because they needed Braun to really emerge and really step up his game. He's had big games. You know, you look at the game that he had against the Miami Heat, he had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And if he continues to be this effective, I mean, the Denver Nuggets, their starting lineup is going to be just fine. And it was never really about this team's starting lineup. Again, there were doubts about Braun, but it's always been about the bench. And that's going to continue to be the thing in question about this Nuggets team is once Aaron Gordon returns and this team gets back their healthy starting 5, you got Westbrook, you got Watson coming for off the bench. You know, can you get more from Strawther? It's the bench that's going to be in question. But, you know, maybe the Denver Nuggets can make a move at the trade deadline to bolster their bench, because I think that's honestly the only weakness of this team. The Denver Nuggets, they proved it in that win over the OKC Thunder, who were viewed as unbeatable. Like the OKC Thunder were not only beating their opponents, they were beating them by double digits. The Nuggets won that game by 2, and they were without Jamal Murray and of course Aaron Gordon, who's going to be out for the next little bit. The Denver Nuggets team, they're looking good. You can't forget about them. They're still going to be a team to be reckoned with in the Western Conference. They're finding their groove again. They're winning a lot of these games. We'll see if they address their bench closer to the trade deadline. But this team, I mean, if they are able to grab a key bench piece around the trade deadline, this team could very well go out there and win a championship, you know. And they've proven that they can go up against anybody, and they're always going to have a chance to win. And then if Jamal Murray gets back to his old roots and he has more games like he had against Miami, Denver's still going to be that scary team in the West. And really, I look at it, I viewed it going into the season as either the Thunder or Nuggets. And, you know, you could put the Mavs in that top 3 if I'm going to give myself a top 3 here early on in the season. Those are the 3 teams I realistically looked at as like, okay, one of these 3 teams are going to get out of the West. So the Nuggets are still in that conversation. They've been getting just improved play across the board. You got to credit Braun. You got to credit Russell Westbrook. And, of course, Nikola Jokic continues to do just absurd things out there on the basketball court that we take for granted at this point. So let me know your thoughts, Nuggets fans. How are you feeling about this team as of late? They've won 4 in a row, and they're looking to keep it going. Let me know your thoughts. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. That is it for me. It's Luke signing off. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you all again in the next one.